Is Halloween still a thing?
Who's gonna tell me that trick-or-treating doesn't exist anymore?
This is your reminder that if you are taking your children to go trunk or treating this year, you are contributing to the death of society as we know it.
What has happened to the holiday that I love, man?
Started trunk or treat, absolutely ruined Halloween.
What has happened to Halloween? I don't know about y'all, but it absolutely irks me to my core to see that parents would rather take their kids out to a Halloween event rather than taking them out into the neighborhood, getting to know your neighbors, getting to soak in that Halloween tradition, that Halloween spirit, seeing other random kids that they might make friends with. But no, you're taking them to these events where they're meeting the same kids that they see every single day. There's no diversity. Everything is the same. What are you guys teaching kids nowadays? And some kids are so excited about celebrating Halloween without even ever experiencing what a traditional Halloween is like. What do you guys think about this? So let's check out and see how some adults feel from their own personal perspective.
What has happened to the holiday that I love, man? I go to the store this morning, right, to stock up on candy because it's game day for a lot of these little kids out here. This is their day. Friday, Halloween, they're about to go crazy. And as a kid who would love to get candy on Halloween,
And that's another thing, is that Halloween has been happening on mainly weekdays for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. So for Halloween to actually be happening on a Friday and kids can actually stay up late, go out, have fun, where are they? Why are they not wanting to experience it on a weekend? When I was growing up, I could not wait until the year came that Halloween would be on a weekend so that I wouldn't have to have my mom tell me, "Oh, you got to go to bed early so that you can wake up for school," or "You can't eat all this candy because you're not going to fall asleep." What is happening to these kids' childhood? I feel so sad for them that this is things that they should be experiencing.
I decided to pay it forward. So I go out and I get 3 big bags of candy. A chocolate bag, a sweet bag, and a sour bag. I'm putting up wilt numbers in the candy section, man. I'm making sure that anybody who comes by my house will be stocked up.
My generation, we're handing out candy now. We're the ones who are grown, becoming homeowners, wanting to hand out candy, and we're not going for the little bars. We're going for the king size bars. Imagine spending so much money on so much candy and not even having one trick-or-treater.
None of this Tootsie Roll stuff is happening around here. So I get all the candy, I put it in my bowl, and I get ready. It's about 5 o'clock, it's about time to start trick-or-treating, right? Around 5:30, I'm like, man, that's odd, no one's came by yet, but maybe it's a little early. So I'll wait, we get to 6:15. I'm still like, man, where is everybody? The entire night, not one person was trick-or-treating in my neighborhood. Halloween when we were kids was the biggest day of the year. You bust out a fit, and you go and get paid. And what are these kids doing now? Tony Snell stat lines on Halloween.
They would rather be inside playing video games. And I think parents should do better. I think parents should be getting off of their lazy asses and taking their kids out trick-or-treating. These things are a crucial part of growing up. I don't know what is wrong with this generation. They would rather let their kids play games. And these are not teenagers. These are kids, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. Why are your kids really playing video games that often, that much? Anyway, at that age. To each their own, but you need to have balance for your child. The caption on this one says, "When you go to a haunted house, but it's just my sweet husband really upset that he dressed up and bought a full-sized candy, but not a single trick-or-treater shows up all night." And that's what I'm saying, full-size candy is not cheap. And you would never find full-size candy when I was growing up unless you went to a rich neighborhood. And I'm talking about mansion rich, not middle class. I'm talking about rich. This one is so sad. The caption reads, "I came home to help my dad with kids on Halloween, but there has been no one, and he is so sad. My parents brought so much for the kids, and no one's even in the neighborhood." And this is exactly what I mean. Like, this is so sad, especially for the older generation, because the older generation is taking a harder hit than the younger ones, in my personal opinion, because these people have been passing out candy for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years sometimes. They have seen different kids move in and out of that neighborhood. This is the time of the year that they might look forward to be able to see what is going on in the community, what costumes are people, like what is the new trend, because a lot of them don't really have a lot of things to look forward to anymore. And it's so sad that whenever they take the time to go do something that is making them extremely excited, and they see that in this generation, it's just dying. So many things die in this generation. It is so sad. We need to do better as a community, as a society, to bring these things back.
Families are devastated after no kids showed up to trick-or-treat at their home. And here's what's going on. If you don't live on a street that's well known for having heavy trick-or-treater traffic, you're not going to get any trick-or-treaters. Trick-or-treaters even let down this poor sweet puppy who was hoping to give out candy this Halloween.
I'm upset because I have full-size bars and there is no kids in sight.
Parents are only taking their kids to high-traffic areas where they're guaranteed to get candy.
Where are all these kids at?
They're even upset about not getting toilet papered or eggs thrown out their homes. Really, they just miss the Halloween spirit in general.
I haven't seen any cartons of eggs on the street, fucking toilet paper, nothing.
And this guy was seen handing out $100 bills just for them to get off of his property.
And that is absolutely disgusting, to see somebody handing out $100 bills just because they don't want somebody on their lawn for trick-or-treating. And these are grown kids too. They're not even all young kids, or maybe their parents and then they have like brothers and sisters. But even still, it is Halloween. You should already be expecting people to come onto your property. And another thing that's so sad is, bringing it back to the beginning of this clip, it's so devastating to hear that parents are taking their kids only to places that have high traffic areas. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, we would obviously start in high traffic areas, but we would move into the neighborhoods that didn't have as much kids, because candy would run out of those high traffic areas. We would go off and venture off into the ones that weren't as busy. And I remember that a lot of them were so happy to see us, telling us, oh, we haven't had many trick-or-treaters. I'm so happy to see y'all, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So it's just really, really sad. I think parents are really failing their kids in this specific aspect.
Who's gonna tell me that trick-or-treating doesn't exist anymore? I was so freaking excited to have trick-or-treaters come to my door this year because I live in a house. I bought king-size candy bars, spent $60. I was like, these kids are gonna love me. They're gonna be talking about me. They're gonna be like, oh, go to the house down the street. Like, she's got the king-size candy bars. I don't know how many kids came to my front door. Not even one. I was like sitting outside, peeking out my window, waiting for.
And that's another thing. I remember when I was growing up, random kids would just be telling other kids, hey, go to that house down the street. She got the best candy bars. You know, just like she said. So that's another thing that is really sad, because you have that little bit of interaction with somebody, like I said, that you don't go to school with every single day.
The kids to show up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's gonna be so fun. The sun went down and there was no one outside, and I was like, they'll come. They're just, probably waiting for it to get fully dark for the vibes. No, they never came. They're just probably at home on their iPads playing Roblox or something. I can't.
iPads, I'm telling you, we as parents, we as adults are genuinely failing this younger generation, and it just makes me think, what is this younger generation going to do when they become parents?
My husband was all ready for the trick-or-treaters, but no one is showing up.
You doing the fog?
He decked out the side of the house for his haunted tunnel and is still patiently waiting.
You look like a creep out here.
I feel so bad for his sad face though.
Well, it's about to be 9, so I think we should pack it up. I'm so sorry.
He looks absolutely devastated. It is so sad to see that because I know that it took him so much to put in all of those decorations and to set it up again to give these kids the Halloween spirit, because that is what Halloween is about experiencing things, getting scared, getting spooked, seeing the creativity. Like, parents are genuinely taking out the creativity in these kids' imaginations, in their daily lives. They rather just put an iPad in front of them and then take them to the smallest event down the block to make it easier on themselves. This is what I mean when I say that parents are genuinely ruining this generation, because for kids to go around to other places and see different people's creativity, it gives them a sense of, oh, this is so cool. I should do this, or this is so cool. When I grow up, I want to do something like this. But no, parents rather give their kids iPads or video games or let them sit in front of the TV all day and then just take them to a small little event so the parents don't really have to do any work. I think that that's absolutely insane and absolutely ridiculous. And I will never stop saying we need to do better. They need to do better.
Instead of partying on Halloween, we give out candy every year.
Trick-or-treaters.
We haven't lived in this house long enough, so we don't know if anyone's coming tonight.
I just bought a lot in case. I even got healthy options.
Oh. What are you doing?
I'm setting up lights.
Why?
So they know where to come.
It's been an hour and there's still no one.
We have all our candy still.
Can I have a piece of candy?
No.
Why?
The kids need the candy.
I don't think anyone's coming to our house, and Cobra is stress baking.
I'm making snacks.
Okay. It looks really good.
Whatever happened to the Halloween spirit?
Yes, what happened to the Halloween spirit? So let's talk about what's really ruining Halloween. And in my opinion, and I think a lot of you guys might agree with me on this, is trunk or treating, which I personally didn't even know was a thing until I went to my last nail appointment like 2-3 weeks ago. And my nail girl was talking to me about how we should take, our daughter trunk or treating because it might be raining on Halloween. And I brought it up to my husband, and my husband was completely against it. And I didn't really understand why until I did a deep dive into it, and I realized exactly what it is and why I think that this should completely be stopped or put to an end. Or maybe if it is something that you do it in school hours, kind of like on Valentine's Day, whenever they pass out candy for Valentine's Day. I think maybe whenever you go into each classroom, they hand out a little bit of candy. The teachers hand out a piece of candy or a piece of candy to each. You got 8 periods. You got 8 pieces of candy by the end of the day. You know what I mean? I think that that is smarter than doing this thing specifically, because this is genuinely ruining not just the Halloween holiday, but as well as creativity. A lot of these people are not being original, and it is absolutely ridiculous, and it is so devastating to see these kids go to these events and it's just normal to them because they don't see other people setting up haunted houses and stuff like that. When I was growing up, I tell my husband all the time, I grew up in Florida, and in Florida, we had these houses where, like, there was at least one on every block. People would empty out their houses and they would make haunted houses, and you would go in there. And I remember there was this one time where we were going through this haunted house. It freaked me out so bad that I was hugging onto my mom, right? But the moment I walked out of there, I looked up, I was hugging onto some freaking like college girl. She was hugging me back, and we just busted out laughing because that's what it is. It's about interacting with people, everybody coming together, having a fun night, like carefree. Now it's all about, let's do the easiest thing for the kids so the parents can go out and get drunk and have parties and go to the club and do this. Halloween is not about the parents. It is about the children and the people experiencing handing out candy to children as they had experiences growing up having candy handed to them. That's a tongue twister. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just so sad, and it absolutely upsets me. Like, I just cannot get past this. Like, it irks me to my core.
I just want to give a big major thank you to the people that started Trunk or Treat. You people that have started Trunk or Treat absolutely ruined Halloween. People spend thousands of dollars, months decorating their house, weeks, however long, just for people not to even.
Like he said, they spend months decorating their house, weeks spending thousands and thousands of dollars to buy decorations for these kids. It's not for themselves. It's so that they can embrace the Halloween spirit and have the kids be able to come up and experience those things too.
Show up at their door. Like, who wants to trick or treat in a trunk that's 5 feet away from each other? That is like pure laziness. Back in my days, when I used to trick or treat, we would go to neighborhoods. We'd roam the blocks for hours. Last night, I maybe got 7 people at my door. And I bought a lot of candy. I mean, I have candy left over to eat, but I mean, just like, it's still the matter of fact that like literally nobody came. And I spent money on literally so much stuff. Oh, and don't even get me started on the fact that it's literally promoted everywhere on like these small billboards. Trunk or treat on this day, trunk or treat on this week. Like, why even promote it? Like, why? Like, why? Whoever started trunk or treat, literally fuck you.
This is your reminder that if you are taking your children to go trunk-or-treating this year, you are contributing to the death of society as we know it. I'm sitting in my house with full-sized candy bars. Where are your children at?
You just want to do it in an environment that's like safe and like during the day.
No. Braving the night, risking being assaulted on a stranger's front porch, that is an initiation ritual that builds character. You gotta do it when they're young. What's so scary about my front door, huh? Huh? You think I'm not friendly? I got full-sized candy bars. If there are not kids on my front porch at 7 p.m. Halloween night, I'm gonna start driving around the neighborhood and just start chucking candy at the back of their head.
You just want to make sure that they get to bed in time.
What happened to community? What happened to loving thy neighbor? Hey, 6-year-old in the Spider-Man costume, your parents don't love you enough to weave you into the fabric of society. Do you hear that, little Timmy? Your parents are cutting you off from the village. I have full-sized candy bars.
Not specifically, your parents don't love you enough, but this is what I mean when I say that parents don't really be paying attention to their children. They would rather find an easy way out than go there and do something that is supposed to be family oriented. Until you're in like middle school or like late middle school, you're really not really doing it with anybody but your family. Like, of course, your friends might come over and you might go trick-or-treating together, or your mom might be handing out candy and she lets you walk around the block or walk around the neighborhood if it's a nice neighborhood. But at the end of the day, it's something that's very family-oriented, especially in this specific age range that we're discussing. And I just feel like parents are just becoming more and more lazy, and it is so sad. So this is what trunk-or-treat looks like, because I had to look up a video because I wasn't really sure. Even though it was explained to me, I wasn't really sure what it looked like. So this is what I saw when I searched up what does trunk or treat. What is this? Like, genuinely, what is this? They're on another side of a fence. It looks like one of them is in a parking lot and one of them is walking down the sidewalk. As a parent, why would you enjoy watching your kids do this rather than going out and experiencing Halloween? It's not even dark. It's daytime. Halloween is about it being cloudy and rainy a little bit and a little bit chilly. Like, it's not about being in the sun. This is exactly what I mean. The caption says, "Thought I was being unique at my kid's trunk or treat." That is absolutely ridiculous. I have absolutely no words for that. And the ones that don't have this specific thing, They don't even have anything set up. This is what I mean when I say the creativity is not in trunk or treat. There's no creativity there. It's just a lazy way to be able to give your kids the Halloween experience, what they believe is a Halloween experience, because that's what you're showing them, so that you can go out and sit with your friends in your kitchen and drink while the kids go to bed early, even though it's literally on a Friday. I mean, if it was on a weekday, like on a Wednesday or something like that, I might understand that you maybe want to take your kids to a trunk or treat and then just hit up a few houses on Halloween. But it is Friday. This year, it is on Friday. That's 3 days. That's 2 days of staying up late and 1 day of recovering. That's how I would have looked at it. And this other video really upsets me because as somebody who has children, I think that it is absolutely disgusting and disturbing to see a grown woman dressing up like this at a kid's event. Pretend you are doing Halloween in a neighborhood. This may be acceptable, but when you are going to an event that is strictly for children and you are dressing up like this is extremely inappropriate, especially around male kids.
Costume I made. Can you guess who I am?
No. You're little boy Pooh.
Little Bo Peep.
See, the husband is dressed completely appropriate, the husband or the boyfriend or whoever this is, but she could have dressed more, what's the word I'm thinking of? Reserved. She did not have to go to a children's event in a corset and a freaking mini skirt with knee-high socks on. Give her heels, and then she should be working in a club. I hate trunk or treat. There is nothing wrong with getting to know your neighbors. In fact, it is weird that Americans hate community to the point where they would rather drive somewhere to do Halloween out of the trunk of a car. America needs community right now, and trunk or treat is the opposite of that. Getting together with people you already know to celebrate a community holiday is against the Halloween spirit. Halloween was a holiday created by the poor so that they would dress up in costume and steal from the rich. It has always been a community holiday. You should be focused on creating a community where you live for your children. That is why you don't see groups of kids on bikes anymore. And I could not agree with this comment more. This is exactly what I was saying earlier, that Halloween, 1, is for the kids. It is not for the parents. 2, it is not about going to an event where you are seeing people that you see at school or in your life every single day. It is about going out and seeing people that you don't see, making new friends. Maybe you like somebody's costume and they like yours, and you take down their number and then you call and then you have a friend. That is what Halloween is about. Not only that, it's also about dressing up and experiencing the decorations and the houses and the haunted houses and all of these things that trunk or treat is not giving. Trunk or treating, you literally just get in, like you drive somewhere, people are handing out candy in the back of their trunks, and that's it. You go home. It's like a 30-minute event. Halloween should be like 4, 5, 6 hour event.
Have you been to a trunk or treat event before? If you haven't, I highly recommend you checking one out. It's a fun alternative to trick-or-treating. People participate by decorating the trunk of their car or near the trunk of their car with some kind of theme. Then they pass out candy. I love seeing the creativity and what trunk themes people come up with. Trunk or treat events are quite popular with churches and schools, but it's catching on more and more. This was the trunk or treat event held at Bayside in Granite Bay. They do this every year, and they have other activities as well, like bounce houses and games and food trucks and more. I love that this is a fun, safe way for kids to dress up in their costumes and get candy without crossing streets or being out too late in the dark. Some trunks are interactive and have activities for you to do. My favorite one this year was the Dutch Bros. They were handing out free coffee.
Some of these are creative. I will give them that. But it's not what Halloween is about. If you want to do this, create another holiday and separate it from Halloween. Make it like Community Day, and people come out and they hand out candy or something like that. Don't take away from the Halloween spirit, because for her to sit there and kind of like say it's a great event to do so your kids aren't out past dark, Halloween is about that. Halloween is a spooky holiday. That is what Halloween is about. If you don't like what Halloween is about, just don't celebrate it. We don't need that because a lot of you people are out here ruining the holiday, not just for the younger generation, but also for us. Because a lot of us, we can't wait till we can grow up and participate, not just by receiving candy, but now giving out and also decorating as well. And we can't even do that. And what happens when the parents finally decide, hey, let's stop doing this. Let's go back to the traditional Halloween spirit. And then they want to start taking their kids trick-or-treating. And by that point, it has gone on for so long that nobody even hands out candy. Nobody even sets up decorations on their lawn. Nobody's even celebrating it anymore. And then they're going to go right back to trick-or-treating. I also saw this mom, I don't think I saved it, but I saw this mom defending her actions on the reason why she took her kids to trick-or-treating is, quote unquote, she specifically said, because it is hard for my kids to walk around and it's easier for me to just take them to a trunk-or-treat. It's easier for me. That's all I heard. When I was growing up, yes, kids, they're hard to walk sometimes. Sometimes they get tired, they don't want to walk. Get a wagon. I'm not talking about the cloth ones. I'm talking about the little red wagons where you haul it, and whenever your kid gets tired, you put them in the back of it, you keep hauling. Whenever they want to walk, you take them out and they keep walking. That is laziness to me. Get a wagon, put your kids in the wagon, haul them. You are the parent. You are the one that is supposed to be giving these kids experience, not robbing them of it. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. I wanted to put this one in here because I did actually like the idea of this. I'm not for trick-or-treating, and this doesn't change my mind, but if I were to go to somebody's house and I were to see this, I think this would be cool.
Are trunk-or-treats ruining Halloween? I've been seeing so many of these videos of people who bought all this candy and were waiting for kids to come by, but no kids came by to trick-or-treat this year. We actually live outside of town, so we were going to drive into town to take the kids trick-or-treating, and we were going to look at a trunk-or-treat. But when we got to one, I saw these lines in a parking lot, and I was like, that doesn't look fun at all. And I remember when I was a kid, trick-or-treating was so fun. You got to run around the neighborhoods and see all the different decorations. Plus, it was our youngest son's first Halloween, so we wanted him to have a fun experience as well. Now, I know the one downside of going through neighborhoods is you have to deal with people in the middle of the roads, and if you're the ones walking, you have to deal with cars driving, which can be unsafe. But still, I feel like it's so much more fun. These people spend all of this time and money and effort to fix up their houses and make it look decorative for Halloween, and if you just go to a trunk-or-treat, you're just not seeing that. Our kids had so much fun last night. We actually went down this one road where there was nobody on the road, and there was this little girl sitting outside with her parents. She seemed so excited that our kids were coming by, and I felt bad that nobody else had went to their house. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think trunk-or-treats are better or worse for Halloween?
Definitely worse for Halloween. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have a lot left to say on that because, as I said, I think it's just ridiculous. I mean, you can be creative on a trunk or treat, but there's only so much creativity that you can have. You can't set up monsters. You can't set up haunted houses. That hurts parents like me. I want to be able to take my daughter out and give her that raw Halloween experience, staying up late, like eating candy late, going out, seeing other people's costumes, putting on a mask and freaking her out because she can't tell that it's me underneath it. Some parents would rather just go to a 30-minute event and not have to worry about it anymore, you know? It's just extremely devastating. And as I said, and as I will continue to say, as a society, we need to do better. This needs to stop because it's taking away their sense of creativity. It's taking away experiences from childhood. It's taking away that feeling of having a little bit of freedom. It's taking away the ability to meet new people, make new friends, and it's just extremely sad. And as I said, I think that trunk or treat needs to genuinely be put to an end, or they need to find a better way of coming about it. Stop clinging on to the Halloween holiday and make your own damn holiday. Call it Community Day, like I said before, you know, like stop tying it to this because kids need to experience Halloween. I don't know if parents are going to start changing or if they're just going to start leaning more towards this whole, like I keep saying, trunk or treat thing, but maybe our generation the ones who are having kids now, maybe we can do better and avoid taking our kids to trunk or treat. As I said, it's just really sad. Something that not just me, but you guys as well, has been with us since literal childhood is something that is no longer being experienced. Like, what's the point of sitting around and watching scary movies? Or what's the point of sitting around and watching Hocus Pocus and waiting for kids to come knock at your door? Or what's the point of any of it if the younger generation, the one that is going to be taking over for us when we get older, isn't even going to do that? And that's another key point too, is that when we are older and our kids are older, our kids are going to be the one that is going to be taking over the Halloween spirit. How are they going to take over Halloween if you're not showing them what Halloween is? It's absolutely sad. But what do you guys think? What is your guys' opinion on this? Would you guys ever take your kids to trunk or treat? Have you taken them to trunk or treat? Do you prefer trunk or treating, or do you prefer trick or treating? What is something that you guys remember about growing up that really stuck with you about Halloween? As I told you guys, mine was the haunted house one. It was funny. I'll never forget it. But Halloween overall is just an amazing experience, and I just want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. But what did you guys dress up as for Halloween if you guys did celebrate? And if you did and you decided to pass out candy, did you guys get anybody at your door? But with that being said, thank you guys for sticking around for this video, and I will see you guys next week. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down at the bottom and stay tuned for my future episodes. Bye!